America is back.
Right now at 10, President Trump delivers his first joint address since returning to power.
And a local school district facing a money crunch, why they're asking taxpayers to help them out.
Plus, alert day conditions. What to expect on the roads as a major storm rolls through the region.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. We had an alert day today. We've got one in place for tomorrow because the commute in the morning, Greg, might be pretty dicey.
It's already starting to change the snow for many areas, and you're correct. Eau Claire's seen snow already begin to change. Roll to Rochester's already starting to see the snow. So it's really tomorrow morning that dangerous travel due to combination of heavy snow, gusty winds. Visibility could drop to less than a quarter, especially as you go further west. So that's why with alert day conditions, it does improve, at least snow-wise, when we go on. Right now, Eau Claire's got 33. They've had snow, but their temperature's too high. Snow rate's too low yet to really accumulate much. Ridgeway, on the other hand, on I-90 is already gone to a quarter mile and snowing pretty good right there, too. Overall, we're still sitting at 45, so we still got a little bit of ways. Precipitation amounts are creeping up closer to an inch towards Prairie du Chien, so quite a bit of rainfall, much needed rainfall as it is, and that's good news. Snow amounts just have changed over, but further to the west, they've seen 2 to potentially up to 3, and that is starting to push further northeast. And you can see road conditions as you get in towards the Minneapolis area, towards Rochester, are starting to deteriorate, too. But overall, for most of our roads are still mainly wet as temperatures are still in the 40s, but quite a bit of rain is still coming through. But that line from snow to rain is just starting to creep a little bit further southeast ever so often, and that will be the case. I think Eau Claire will start seeing accumulating snow here in a couple hours. La Crosse is probably not until about 3 to 4 you start seeing changeover, and then it may take another hour or two to really start accumulating as that temperature gets closer to 32 and that snow rate begins to pick up. But everyone by the morning commute should see the snow pretty much throughout the area. So later on we'll kind of break down how much snow we're going to get throughout it, when it'll end, how about those winds, and what it looks like for Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. All bit later.
All right. Thank you, Greg. And a reminder, you can always track weather on your block with our First Warn weather app. You can find it on the App Store or on Google Play. We'll have a live lookout on the roads tomorrow morning with Alexandra and Art.
On April 1st, voters in the Melrose-Mendora School District will decide on a $1.2 million operating referendum. If approved, property taxes will increase $162 a year for every $100,000 of property value. The referendum will allow the district to keep staff and maintain programs and services for students. It's Melmin's first operating referendum in 14 years. They've worked to keep the district's costs low, like decreasing 7 staff positions this year. But there's one obstacle they just can't overcome.
The formula that is utilized to determine how much money a school district gets from the state was developed in 1993. And that formula has not kept up with the rate of inflation.
We are kind of the hub of the community. We are one of the biggest facilities in the area. So having people in our community be able to utilize our district in many different ways other than just educating our kids is very important.
The referendum would be recurring, meaning that the tax increase can continue in the following years without needing renewal votes.
Next Chapter La Crosse hosted a fundraising event today. The event's goal is to help families break the cycle of generational incarceration. Those who attended were able to learn about some helpful community programs.
We provide a role to the guys coming out of prison. Someone that's coming out of prison has a 75% chance of ending up back in prison in 4 years. We're trying to change the course of that.
The nonprofit also serves as a ministry for those interested in having a spiritual connection with their community.
City Brewery is facing a big parking problem, and it's tied to a certain smell. Last April, the Board of Public Works fined City Brewery over the smell of rotten eggs. Now they're giving them 30 days to vacate this lot due to the ongoing smell. On Monday, the board voted to terminate a lease allowing City Brewery to park trucks on Isle La Plume. The board made the move due to the sulfuric smell that comes from their wastewater treatment plant.
Well, while there are levels that are regulated by the EPA, thus through the DNR, they're not at the levels that we are currently measuring or have measured at the City Brewery. However, that does not change the fact that it is a significant stench that impacts our neighborhoods and the downtown on a regular basis.
According to a letter from City Brewery, they plan to stop the smell by repairing the treatment plant's reactor roof this year. Per the lease, City Brewery has 30 days to vacate the lot.
Sparta dairy workers are celebrating a new deal with the Regional Dairy Cooperative. The Teamsters Union representing workers at the Foremost Farms plant in Sparta says it's got a new 4-year agreement. Officials say workers will see higher wages and pension contributions, plus better health care and more bereavement time. The union had authorized a strike prior to getting this deal. Foremost Farms is based near Madison and partners with hundreds of dairy farmers in Wisconsin and across the Midwest.
New details about the huge Buc-ee's that'll be near Madison. An upgraded freeway interchange will have to be built, and it's costly. $15 million. One idea is to fund it through property tax dollars from the village of DeForest. Buc-ee's is willing to cover $8 million. DeForest would have to cover at least $900,000.
We'll see if that materializes. An area nonprofit hosted a Packers legend for their annual fundraising dinner. Former Packers fullback John Kuhn attended the Golden Eagle dinner at the Cargill Room tonight. The funds raised at this event will be used to support over 1,000 scouts around the region and upkeep expenses at Camp Decorah. Kuhn, a former Cub Scout, says this event is important to him.
Very important event here tonight to raise money. Their biggest fundraiser of the year, and I've done this several times now within the state of Wisconsin, and I never turn it down.
A guest speaker from the Packers has been featured at this dinner for the past 7 years.
Well, UWL got an early start to International Women's Day this year. This is the 13th year the university has hosted the celebration. Accelerate Action is the theme for this year, emphasizing the importance of equality. The International Women's Day Committee hosted 3 guest speakers from all over the world to talk about their journeys to America. The committee says events like this help connect women from all types of backgrounds.
My favorite part is hearing the stories of 3 diverse women, their journeys, how they came to be in the United States. Probably the most popular question that we ask them is, what was different when you came to the United States from your country? It's always fun to hear their answers about that. What surprised them about being in the United States?
The official International Women's Day is celebrated on March 8th.
Local lawmakers react to President Trump's joint congressional address.
Plus, a Supreme Court ruling with wide-ranging impacts on sewage treatment.
My hearing loss symptoms started approximately 20 years ago. Like when you're going down a hill and you need to pop your eardrum, that's the way my ear felt all the time. And that's when we discovered that my hearing was going to gradually get worse. I was done with not being able to hear, so I was a little bit concerned. But coming to the Better Hearing Center is probably one of the best moves I've ever made. I would recommend Better Hearing Center. They're family, and they make you feel like family when you walk in the door.
You know what's on my mind? It's butt cold out here, and I don't have any heat at home.
Well, gotta have heat, Einstein.
Up yours, smarty. I just don't know who to call.
Jacob said Chuck used the local company. The Primary Colors, the good one?
What?
What?
Huh?
Well, there's your sign.
Jeez Louise.
Moron.
Hey, putz.
Call GNC.
For the best heating and air conditioning, guaranteed.
When she was a lawyer, Susan Crawford defended Planned Parenthood.
And she personally trusts women to decide whether to have an abortion.
Not Brad Schimmel.
He wants to take us back to the 1849 law
that bans abortion for rape and the health of the mother.
So Susan Crawford is the common sense judge who will protect our rights. And Brad Schimmel is the extremist who will take them away.
That's why we need
Susan Crawford. Susan Crawford.
Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court.
Well, a victory lap tonight for President Trump as he addressed the nation and Congress on Capitol Hill. Trump touting his Electoral College victory in the first few minutes of his speech, claiming the win gave him a mandate that has not been seen in decades. A Texas Democrat then stood up and repeatedly disrupted the speech, shouting at Trump that he does not have a mandate to cut Medicaid. He was escorted out of the House. Trump then touted his executive orders, including those banning men from playing in women's sports and efforts to crack down on illegal border crossings. He said tariffs will bring trillions of dollars to the country and that taxes are coming to make America affordable again.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down. The next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there, they're waiting for you to vote. And we're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits.
A wide-ranging speech tonight honoring the family of Laken Riley, who you see there. Trump also expressing appreciation for a letter from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky today, who said Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table, quote, under President Trump's strong leadership.
The Democratic Party of Wisconsin released a statement following Trump's address, stating in part, Derek Van Orden, Brian Stile, and Wisconsin Republicans in D.C. are working with Donald Trump and Elon Musk to cut as much as $880 billion from Medicaid. Nothing we heard from Donald Trump tonight changes the disastrous impact this agenda will have for Wisconsin families.
The Republican Party of Wisconsin releasing a statement of its own, stating, quote, President Trump has embodied promises made, promises kept. In just over a month since taking office, President Trump has secured the southern border, slashed millions of wasteful spending, and stood up to Hamas.
DOJ is reportedly canceling the leases of several federal offices in Wisconsin. 16 offices statewide are being impacted. In Madison, the offices include the Food and Drug Administration and small business offices, and the Federal Highway Administration office, which has about 30 workers. DOJ claims ending the fish and wildlife lease saved the government almost $300,000.
The Supreme Court dealing a blow to the EPA today on clean water enforcement. The city of San Francisco sued the agency over wastewater permits that it argued were too vague to enforce. The court in a 5-4 ruling sided with San Francisco, saying permits need to be more specific when it comes to standards for businesses and sewage treatment plants. Environmental advocates say the ruling hurts the EPA's ability to hold water polluters accountable in cities across the nation. The court's majority says if the EPA does its job, the ruling should not hurt water quality.
Severe weather ripping through the country.
Now look at the powerful storms affecting millions in just a bit.
And that same storm system with all the severe weather is impacting us because we're going to be looking like that for at least a good chunk of Wednesday. We'll break down how much snow we'll have, what the winds look like, and when we'll actually dry out and warm back up. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
River City Grill in Winona is your place for great food and drinks every night of the week. It wouldn't be Friday without fish. Get yours with chips for $15.99 or with shrimp for $19.99. And end your week with $4 rail mixers. See you soon at River City Grill in Winona.
Welcome to the most honest commercial you've ever seen. Not the cleanest, just the most honest.
Today, we're fixing a home's foundation.
I mean, that is like the most common thing to see in the world.
Pretty common, yeah.
Right.
So it's the soil that's eroding away, causing those cavities, those voids that the foundation then wants to settle into.
And then you guys with your superhero capes show up and fix everything.
Yes, sir.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
A 7-year-old girl attends a birthday party at a local swimming pool. She's sexually assaulted by a repeat child molester. The monster faces 100 years in prison, but Judge Susan Crawford let him off with just 4. That was Crawford's choice. Now he's back on the street, walking distance from a school. And Judge Crawford, she wants a promotion. Susan Crawford, dangerous decisions, wrong for Wisconsin.
It's tournament time at Osseo Automotive, and the savings are giant. And so is the selection.
Get a giant $12,000 off a new Ford F-150 XLT Crew Cab, or $11,000 off a new 2024 Ford Expedition Max XLT, or $7,000 off a new 2024 Ford Escape.
You'll never see anything this big again. The giant tournament sale is going on now at Osseo Ford, Nelson Gunderson Chevrolet, Fountain City Ford, and Rudy's in Whitehall.
I'm Steve from Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions. If you see discoloration or damaged wood here, that can mean rotted materials here. Cheap repairs or inserts can cause bigger problems fast. You need a trusted window company to replace the window and fix the surrounding materials correctly. Our team will complete our Weather Guardian 15-step installation process on every job to ensure your home and family are safe before we leave. Save $100 off each window and door, plus an additional $500 off when you purchase 10 windows or more, plus no interest financing available.
River City Grill in Winona is your place for great food and drinks every night of the week. It wouldn't be Friday without fish. Get yours with chips for $15.99 or with shrimp for $19.99. And end your week with $4 rail mixers. See you soon at River City Grill in Winona. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Hazardous weather ripping through parts of the U.S.
The powerful storms leading to at least 2 deaths. Maribel Gonzalez reports as the powerful and sprawling storm moves across the country.
From blizzards, tornadoes, and fires, a triple threat weather event is sweeping across much of the U.S. with more than 55 million people at risk. In Bexar County, Texas, wind-driven brush fires forced evacuations.
We would advise that it's probably best for our residents to leave. My coworker, her kids are in daycare there, and they did evacuate the daycare, and she needed to go pick up her boys from daycare.
About 500 miles north in the Texas Panhandle, you can hear the wind as flames grow orange. Hurricane-force winds topping 74 miles per hour caused significant damage across other parts of Texas, including at an apartment complex in Irving. This neighbor captured destruction to one side of the building and major damage to a warehouse in Louisville. Already downed trees, power lines, and power outages are creating dangerous conditions for residents there. Police are asking people to avoid unnecessary travel. In Fort Worth, the severe windy weather appears to have been strong enough to blow several planes around and flip this RV on its side. Meanwhile, in Dallas, blowing dust forced a ground stop at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Video shows the skies hazy and red, decreasing visibility. And Mardi Gras celebrations were cut short in New Orleans. Officials ended parades at 11 a.m. to protect people from the potentially destructive weather. Moving into the overnight hours, there's a threat of blizzard conditions in the Plains and Midwest. I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
And over here in our area, we've got some weather going on. Rain and some snow headed our way early in the morning. Let's send it over to Greg for the latest on that.
Yeah, pretty much it's a whole similar complex, pretty much a typical March system that you have severe weather further south. We're on the northern edge of it, so we get the snow, rain, snow. So eventually we'll all get rain, and maybe down the road we'll get the severe weather. But for this time, we're definitely on the northern edge. So we got rain changing to snow, which is already occurring. Blizzard type warnings are going to be already in effect for areas just to the west. That's because they'll have the greatest confidence, at least they're higher. They're going to get that visibility to get down to a less than quarter a mile for a certain amount of time frame. Otherwise, less as you go further east. For Richland, Crawford, and even on the other side of the river, mostly just a wind advisory because I'll have enough wind down there, but the snow amounts won't be that high and pretty wet to be blowing and drifting, so visibility won't be as bad. It'll just be a lot more wind, but still they'll see snow in southwest Wisconsin, just not as much as other areas. Now, as we look at overall the amount, still it looks like a lot of the area, just west Winona, 6 to 9. We could see a little bit. Now, this is the amount of snow that will fall. Since it's compact and wet, it'll compact fairly quick, so what's on the ground after all this probably won't be 6 to 9 or even 4 to 7, but this is what we're expecting for falling snow. We'll have to keep an eye. We might see a little bit more enhancements towards Sparta, McCoy, Fort McCoy area towards tomorrow late tomorrow morning. So that might boost the levels up a little bit. For road conditions, it's really late tonight through tomorrow where it's slushy or snow-covered roads. Beyond that, we'll probably see it get more wet, at least the main roads in the afternoon as the snow rate kind of decreases. Visibility definitely in the morning to about noon is probably the worst condition. Not as bad in the afternoon, just given that we won't have as much snow occurring at that moment. And then roads likely will be still wet, at least the main ones for the evening commute. But given that we'll have some drifting snow, slushy parts of them are definitely likely. So that's what we're kind of looking for road conditions wide. Overall, that line is beginning to shrink a little bit further getting closer and closer to Winona. Right now, Eau Claire's has it, but the snow's not coming down at a high rate right now with the 33 degrees to really pick up too much accumulation, at least on road-wise. We're still quite a lot of rain still occurring, and if we track it out, really, I think by the time we get to 2 to 3, I think La Crosse will start seeing the changeover, but then we're going to have to wait maybe an hour to start accumulating some of that snow. Grassy areas first, and then it might take a little bit to get onto the road surface. So you see the temperature still hanging above freezing. Meanwhile, throughout the morning, this is probably 7 to 10. Really, snow will be coming down. Temperatures will be around freezing or a little bit below. So accumulation on the roads is likely. This is snow covered. And then you'll notice at 10 a.m., 11, you start seeing a little bit of break west of Eau Claire, and west of the river, we'll start seeing that kind of break up. So in the afternoon time frame, I think snow amounts will start coming down, especially west. La Crosse definitely after 3 won't see as much snow. For areas to the east, and maybe till about 4 or 5. But for the most part, the evening commute, I think, will be really dry. We'll deal with the wind, but overall the precipitation will be pretty much over with, and then decreasing clouds more as we go into Wednesday night. Overall snow amounts during till 8 a.m. really is going to be hugging straight to the north with that bigger line. Further south you go, La Crosse probably closer to that 2-inch mark, much less you go further south. Now, beyond that, really, it pushes further east to where you'll see most of the accumulation. Basically from Sparta all the way further east is where this area could pick up maybe that 4 to 6 or a little bit higher. It really tails off to a lot as you go further west, especially west of Eau Claire after 8 a.m. Snow amounts are not that high. Wind speeds, definitely, these are gusts. We see gusts potentially as high as 50 out of the north. That'll continue through the afternoon and also continue to the evening hours. So we'll be dealing with that wind quite a bit. The good news is Thursday we dry out. We have a little bit of chance Friday, but otherwise fairly quiet until we get to the Wednesday of next week. Weekend looks fairly quiet, but notice the 60s potentially coming back in for Monday and Tuesday before we see our next rain chance probably coming towards the end of next week. So messy Wednesday. So if you don't have to travel, definitely don't do it.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, win or go home. Playoffs are here for boys hoops teams across the state. Find out if a few area squads could avoid a first-round upset on their home floor. Jacob is next.
Your commute, your lunchtime, your drive home. Is it going to be clear, rainy, or worse? Every morning, I'll let you know. We'll see you then.
Our team is growing at Phillips Outdoor Services. We're now hiring a landscape install leader. Earn up to $35 an hour, a $5,000 sign-on bonus, and 4 weeks PTO. Apply online today at phillipsoutdoorservices.com/careers.
Around here, neighbors come together to make each other better. We're taking the same approach with healthcare. Gunderson Health System and Bellin Health have come together to form Amplify Health, giving you more of what's important in healthcare. More caring, more listening, more to feel good about on your way to feeling better. Overall, just a little more heart. Amplify Health by Gunderson. A little empathy changes everything.
For over 40 years, La Crosse Glass and Overhead Door has been the go-to company for anything glass and door. We offer a large stock inventory of CEHI garage doors to help you find the perfect fit. As a locally owned business, we take pride in our work and always get the job done. From commercial glass and glazing to residential glass and CHI garage doors, we have the experience and expertise to help you. Call or visit our website today.
I know Brad Schimmel, he has always focused on getting justice for victims of sexual assault. The Sexual Assault Kit Initiative, Brad cleared that backlog. It's a completely false attack on him. His opponents, I think, have to change the narrative to redirect the focus away when she routinely gives light sentences to child predators. That is not what we need on the Supreme Court in Wisconsin.
Our team is growing at Phillips Outdoor Services. We're now hiring a landscape install leader. Earn up to $35 an hour, a $5,000 sign-on bonus, and 4 weeks PTO. Apply online today at phillipsoutdoorservices.com/careers.
All the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
We trudge on through tourney time. The Wisconsin boys joining the March Madness party with the opening round of action tonight. Toma boys hosting, and they're hoping that tonight is the start of something special against New London. 8-seeded Timberwolves hosting the 9th-seeded Bulldogs. We begin with Michael Zastapil moving across the wing, handed it off to Quinn Gerke, who pulls and splashes. He's been great all year. Tomah up 9-6 early. The pedal would stay down as Zastapil drives hard and pulls up the mid-range, making his mark on the game tonight. Tomah extending their lead to 6. And the Timberwolves with a good team passing performance tonight. That is Owen Vandenhoogen. He had a game-high 25 points in this one. Timberwolves run away with this one late and win at 74-60. We move on west down I-90 to Sparta. Spartans looking for a W. First, it's Grant Geyer at the top of the key, spinning and pulling up and flushing the mid-range jumper. Sparta with a commanding 16-point lead with 10 minutes to go. Everett Laufenberg extending that lead with a soft touch around the rim in transition. 15 points to lead now, but then Logan Sipple of Shawano wasn't letting the Eagles go down without a fight. He had 4 3-point plays in the final 2 minutes. That lead would get down cut to as little as 5 with 36 seconds left, but Sparta holds on as they get the win close, 72-67. Luther boys hoping tonight is the start of a long run facing Mondovi. Knights up big in the second half, and Will Hulskamp skies for the finger roll. Moments later, Sinclair Bias picks the pocket of the Buffaloes, and he will coast in for a room service layup. Home side up 72-46. Then more good offense from Luther. Nice pass by Logan Pierce to Trent Berg for the easy deuce. Under a minute left, Mondovi senior Kevin Dominguez Garullo lets one go, and bang, good moment right there. And you gotta love the point to the stands as well. Luther still dancing, 78-57, the final. Other results from the evening. Logan boys season comes to a close at Fox Valley Lutheran. Blair Taylor wins on a late 3 by Hunter Wagner. Black River Falls is knocked out of the playoffs in a close game against Adams Friendship, and Kickapoo advancing, defeating DeSoto. Elsewhere, Royal keeps their undefeated season going. Seneca upsets Hillsborough on the road. Bangor knocking out Whitehall, and Fall Creek cruising past Oliva Strum. All right, Bucks in action on the road in Atlanta tonight. Third quarter, Milwaukee on the run. Gary Trent Jr. fighting through contact with the finish. This one pretty tight throughout the second half. Kevin Porter Jr. showing off the moves and drilling the mid-range jumper. Now with a minute left, Trey Young is going to skip it over to Karis LeVert. And this one's going to be money from 3 to tie things up at 121. But after a Brook Lopez dunk, it's Damian Lillard with a dagger. Spinning layup is good. Bucks come back to win 127-121. T-Wolves hosting the 76ers late first half. The Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, a couple step backs, and he sticks the 3 to go up 5. Third quarter, Mike Conley on the take to the cup, kicking it out to Jaden McDaniels. He's got some bad intentions. Major jam there. And under 3 seconds left in the frame, it's Conley from just inside the half-court line, and it's good. Minnesota up 3. And they'd keep that momentum going in the fourth quarter. Nickeil Alexander-Walker with a sweet finish in the lane. Timberwolves win by 14. Well, after trying to find the replacement of Mason Crosby for some time, the Packers seem to finally have a reliable kicker locked up for the next few years. ESPN insider Adam Schefter reporting today that Green Bay and the pending free agent McManus have agreed to a 3-year deal worth $15.3 million. He made all 31 of his extra point attempts and was 21 of 23 on field goal tries, including a mark of 6 for 7 on kicks longer than 40 yards. He was fantastic. It was kind of a breath of fresh air for Packers fans because kickers have not been great lately, and that is a luxury. So.
No, ever since Mason Crosby left, I mean, I think we all remember the Anders Carlson cross your fingers and hope for the best. And McManus was darn near automatic.
Right.
So
hopefully more moves be made as well.
Yeah, money well spent.
Yep.
Thanks Jake.
Guys.
All right, more news right after this.
When you have a drain backup, you need help fast. From slow drains to clogged mains, we solve it all. Maxwell White has been solving sewer, septic, and drain issues in the La Crosse Coulee region for more than 30 years. Fast, reliable, and professional. Call or book online today.
When she was a lawyer, Susan Crawford defended Planned Parenthood.
And she personally trusts women to decide whether to have an abortion.
Not Brad Schimmel.
He wants to take us back to the 1849 law
that bans abortion for rape and the health of the mother.
So Susan Crawford is the common sense judge who will protect our rights. And Brad Schimmel is the extremist who will take them away.
That's why we need
Susan Crawford. Susan Crawford.
Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun they're having, it's easy to take for granted how they warm up, by the fire, or simply adjusting their thermostat. But for some of us, it's not that easy. Some of us need to decide whether to heat or to eat, or to further neglect our basic survival needs. We are working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans, all struggling to pay record heating bills. These dangerous temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for us, they can be deadly. If you are struggling to decide if you can put food on the table or heat your home, please reach out for a hand up. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
T-Mobile is very reliable.
It's always nice to know that T-Mobile has us covered.
I love the fact that my family and I, we can stay connected just about anywhere we want to go.
My network is my lifeline.
And after investing billions to light up our network from big cities to small towns, T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. See for yourself. Right now, get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $25 per line when you switch.
Slow or clogged sink, toilet, or main drain? Maxwell White can help. Ask about our $99 mainline drain opening special. Includes a free camera inspection. Address the root problem now to avoid costly repairs or future damage. Call or book online today.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
At an antique store in North Texas, a man older than some of the collectibles entertains shoppers every weekend.
90-year-old Jack Barger has been playing piano almost all of his life. He recently started performing at Cottonwood Market just north of Dallas.
The music, he says, gives this antique store the appropriate soundtrack.
People, I do love being around people, and the music I play is older music that was more popular back when, so it seems like it just goes with antique malls.
Jack plays for 2 hours, never repeating a song during his set. A nice antique playlist he's got.
Oh yes, and he plans to keep entertaining shoppers for as long as his fingers will let him.
Go Jack!
Awesome.
I have some friends who live not too far from there. I'm going to have them.
They got to go
check them out.
antiquing.
Yeah, go find Jack. Go find Jack. All right, Greg has a final look at your forecast right after this.
Looking for a new ride? At Ultra, we know some family members are pickier than others. Apply today at driveultra.org and find a ride that makes everyone happy. No payments for 90 days. Driver tested, puppy approved. Ultra Federal Credit Union.
The 27th Annual Early Bird Home Show, only at the Board Store. The proof is in the truth. And the truth is that the Board Store does offer higher quality at lower prices, as has been the case for the last 35 years. The 27th Annual Early Bird Home Show. Superior products, superior service at the lowest prices of the year. Bath or kitchen remodels, windows or doors, pergolas, patio covers, sunrooms, siding or gutters. Do it now. The 27th Annual Early Bird Home Show, only at the Board Store.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet Spring Workwear event is going on now, and we have a great selection of quality workwear styles at unbeatable prices. New at Blaine's, men's brunch workwear apparel 25% off. Save 30% on men's work and sport sweatshirts. These men's Wolverine Western boots, $59.99 while supplies last. Plus, earn $30 in Carhartt bucks when you spend $125 on Carhartt gear. We've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities to bring you closer to the people and places you love. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures. And with the fastest, most reliable internet, you're always front row to the entertainment you love, no matter where you are. Get Spectrum Internet Premier for $30 per month when bundled plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-833-440-0029. Spectrum Internet puts streaming live TV, sports, and popular apps all at your fingertips.
Pischke Motors has been family-owned and operated since 1920 and have you to thank for our continued success. Stop by our dealership in West Salem or La Crosse to find the Ram you're looking for. Get in a Ram 1500 Laramie or Bighorn today. We've got great deals on new Rams right now. When you find the perfect truck, you'll feel it.
Start your search at Pischke.com and then drive away in your new Ram.
Give your child the independence they want with Ultra's Live Your Life Spend account. It's a free account designed for money-savvy teens and young adults with all the extra features you'll love. No minimum balance and no monthly fees. Plus, cashback debit card rewards. Ultra Federal Credit Union.
Well, tomorrow's morning commute will start wet for a few areas, but most areas will transition to snowy conditions road-wise, slush. Winds will be kicking up. The noon hour looks to be just really windy and snow, so roads will be pretty much the worst condition from late morning to about noon. Otherwise, we see wet conditions more, so definitely be careful tomorrow morning if you're out and about.
Sure will. All right, that does it for us at 10.
We'll see you tomorrow.